show. I'm feeling great. We had a really good show yesterday. And I go to the gym. I take a little workout, a little shower. I sit down. I open up Twitter, and the name Adam Schefter is trending. And whenever any of my friends are trending, my first thought is, oh, no, what happened? And so I click on it. And this is what comes up. Shefty broke the Pope news. I'm going to say, Shefty started by tweeting about the white smoke that was out there. And so we called him, and Shefty said when he first started tweeting about the white smoke, people were tweeting him back saying, so who is it? Who is it? So for the record, Shefty was not able to get the scoop from inside the conclave, but he did have the story. And so I'm just envisioning all the other NFL insiders, you know, how mad they are throwing stuff off. Oh, man, Shefty got the Pope scoop, whatever the case may be.
Your editor calling you got to follow up on this story now.
That's exactly right. So here brings me to ask a question. The Pope is in his late 60s. He is from Chicago.
Southsider.
Southside, went to Catholic school. It goes without saying.
It does, actually.
There's a gentleman in our studio who is from Chicago, who's about the same age, who went to Catholic schools. So here's a question I never thought I'd ask. Michael, did you grow up with the Pope? Are you friends with the Pope?
Maybe.
Oh. Tell me.
Could be. It's got to be 2 degrees removed. No, I don't know that I know the Pope. But so yesterday, I became so obsessed with this. I am not Catholic, but I believe in Catholic education and I'm a product of it. Jesuit education, specifically St. Ignatius High School, Bob Newhart, among others.
Mm-hmm.
So this comes down yesterday. The Pope is from Chicago, south suburb Dalton, which I think is where Donovan McNabb grew up. I'm pretty sure Donovan did. And we went crazy. And I don't care. Usually I'm annoyed by papal talk. I just am. You know, I married the most
He's
Catholic.
annoyed by papal talk.
I married the most Catholic woman in America, and I immediately texted her and just said, I may convert. This is the coolest thing I've heard in a long time, that the Pope was from Chicago. But the other thing, Greeny, was, is he a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan?
Big.
This was, by the way, the subject of controversy because the Cubs declared the Pope was a Cub fan,
of course he
and
did.
it's on the marquee at Wrigley.
But his brother disputed it.
His brother, in an interview in New Mexico, says, no, he's a White Sox fan. All I said was,
Takes a lot of faith to be a White Sox fan.
if he leans toward or has connections to the Packers or Cardinals, he's done to me.
No.
I have no regard if
You
that's
are
the case.
talking to the son of a nun. That's right. I said it. My mother was a Dominican nun for 11 years, Sister Mary Lou. She did leave the convent before.
Yes, that's going to have to be explained to me later.
At least that's the story.
Let's make sure we get that right.
And a big sports fan. When I landed here, it happened while I was in the air, made her year. She was all over the Pope yesterday.
So my mother's worked in the Catholic Church my whole life, right? I went to Catholic school through 12th grade, St. Anthony's High School, Franciscan Brothers. And my mother, who doesn't pay attention to any sports news at all, texted me and said, he went to Villanova. You know what that means, right?
It means Nixon 4. It means Nixon 4 is what it means.
We need to finish this. I called 100 people just to say, we want, in Chicago, we're so obsessed. We want to know everything about the Pope. Is he going to bless the Bears? And I had one of
Forget the Bears. The Bulls on Monday in the lottery.
Bless Caleb.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The Bulls on Monday, Cooper Flag. That's where your
I'll
first.
take that.
By the way, our friend Annie Agar,
Take that, Wendy.
Our friend Annie Agar, I think, won this conversation yesterday. She tweeted, Chicago produced a Pope before a quarterback who throws for 4,000 yards. That was well played.
One can lead to the other.
But anyway, it was a beautiful day. I loved the movie Conclave. I loved watching all of that yesterday. Obviously, it goes without saying, I'm not Catholic, but I really did enjoy all that yesterday. And the fact that there's an American Pope, I think, is fabulous.
Very cool.
And so on we go from there. Okay, we were going to do this earlier this week, but then we had that football trade break. So let's do a flashback Friday. 36 years ago this week, Michael Jordan hit what might be the most famous shot in basketball history. Jordan over Elo, known as the shot, and a shot that I think in many ways ushers in the modern era of basketball. You can sort of break up basketball into the time before Michael made that shot and the time after he did. And so we decided we put together, and Mr. Wilbon will enjoy this, today's Green List, which is brought to you by Hidden Valley Ranch. It is the top 5 most memorable Michael Jordan shots. I'm nervous to do this in front of Wilbon because I'm nervous he's going to disagree. No one knows this better than I do. At number 5, April 30th, 1991, Michael Jordan dunking on an entire Knicks team, including Patrick Ewing. This is one, oh, he's going one way. Oh, no, he's not. Sorry, Charles Oakley. Sorry, Patrick Ewing. That is Jordan in his face. Maybe the most vicious dunk of his career. At number 4, Marv Albert captured it so well as a spectacular move. Jordan, in the first championship the Bulls would win in 91. This is game 2. That was the game where he made all of those threes, but perhaps best remembered for switching to the left hand during the game. Let's then go to the most important shots that he made. At number 3, we go all the way back to 1982. This was Michael Jordan making the shot that wins the NCAA championship for North Carolina as a freshman, a team that was loaded with future Hall of Famers, James Worthy, Sam Perkins, all the guys on that team. That's the shot that winds up winning it. Michael Jordan was a freshman. Next, at number 2, the final shot. Jordan had stolen the ball from Karl Malone on the other end and then comes down and leaves the hand in the air over Byron Russell to win his 6th championship. This winds up being really the last moment that Michael Jordan had in Chicago. But at number 1, Michael, I did put the shot. It was, again, 36 years ago this week over Elo. That was a series in which Cleveland was heavily favored. The Bulls wind up making a run all the way to the conference final that year that no one saw coming. And as I said, I feel like while they didn't win a championship that season, I feel like this was the moment when Michael Jordan arrived.
It was.
It went from, oh, he is just the most fun show in sports to, oh no, he is going to be something completely different from anything we've ever seen. So that's my list. I nervously ask what you think.
I'd have the same 5. I think I would switch Elo. And you are right about Elo and the shot and what that meant for Jordan doing it not in the NCAA game, but an NBA game to win the series. By the way, the Bulls had lost game 4 in Chicago to set that up.
Yep.
And they have to go on the road and win in Cleveland. I'd put the shot in Utah 1, just because I still hear Bob Costas' call. If that is the final shot of his career, and it's just so eloquent. But I hear your argument, and I'm not going to take exception to it. The dunk over Ewing is the greatest dunk of his career, period. Yeah. He takes all 5 Knicks. He gets all 5 of them. He gets somebody twice.
Here it comes. We'll show it again. This obviously is the game whenever.
Yes,
here's the dunk against the Knicks.
But starting earlier, he gets Vanderway, he gets Starks, he gets Oakley. I think he got Oakley twice. And then flushes it on Patrick. That's the best dunk of his career. Because it meant more. It was in a series in which the Knicks thought, this is our time. No more 1973. No more. We don't have to hear about Willis Reed and DeBusschere and Frazier. Oh, yeah, you do. Because Jordan took care of that.
The top 5 Michael moments approved by Michael Wilbon. Coming up, the Minnesota Mauling. No Steph, no chance for Golden State. Is it all over for the 4-time champs? We're all over it as we roll on. You're watching Get Up on ESPN.